Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Wake Up Legendary. It's Wednesday, November 16th. I have just outside of this door a dog losing her mind. I'm not sure what she's losing her mind at, but please forgive me. It's a beauty. Oh, she ran out the dog door. All right, we're good. All right. We go live, for those of you who don't know, every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So 10 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page, we go live and bring you another story, another person who's taken our training or takes one of the core 4 business models that we teach and has built a successful business, and they're crushing it. We just want to share their story as a way to share some inspiration. I say often that you can wake up to CNN, cable news, Fox News, whatever. You can wake up to all the intense nonsense and kind of BS that's going on in the world. Or you can wake up and start your day with something like Wake Up Legendary and hear from people just like you who are pushing through all the initial sort of hurdles and jumping over all those initial hurdles of getting a business started. So if you're tuned in live with us, let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from, and help me also welcome on our guest for today, Tom from Colorado. What's up, Tom?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good to have you on. Tell us a little bit about how you found Legendary, and tell us a little bit about I'm actually curious about just, experience with Beachbody back in the day, because sometimes it's interesting to get people's like backstories and history. But tell us a little bit about you and tell us how you found Legendary.
All right, sure. Thanks for having me on here. Um, well, I have to say, kind of start back in the late 90s when I was dating my wife at the time. We actually got into the MLM world,
Cool.
and there was a initial company that came out with health products, supplements, and water filters. That was the big thing. So we decided to jump in there and try that out. We loved the experience of it wasn't an in-home thing, but they actually did it in an office building.
Mm-hmm.
Big office setting, hundreds of people, and the energy was crazy. So we kind of caught on to that real quick. And we did that for a few months and found out it was really hard to kind of get other people to come to those events as well.
Sure.
To step away from their families and come to those events for 1 or 2 hours, several days a week. So we kind of stepped out of that for a while and went back to normal 9 to 5 life.
Yep. So that was back in the 90s. Holy smokes. Okay, cool. I was just a wee little thing. Um, so you started there, and I would say a lot of our audience has some form of a background in MLM. I mean, I first found I think it's sort of an easy, approachable way to make money on the side or something. It's like for a lot of people, they're just desiring a little extra income. They're desiring a little bit more out of life, I think, like whether that's losing weight or supplements or even just making more money. And then, yeah, it's sort of like it's not like a rite of passage, but kind of like a rite of passage a little bit into sort of discovering, for me, I found the 4-hour work week, and that was powerful, and learned how to use the internet. And so talk to us a little bit about, your work, and then, and what between, maybe your wife and you, or maybe just you, um, what was the driving factor to come online and start an online business?
A couple things on there. We had our first daughter, and that's when Beachbody came into effect. So, wife wanted to stay home as a stay-at-home mom, so I needed to find some other sort of income, and didn't really want to work a second job and log in for somebody else for another 4 to 6 hours a day. It didn't sound very fun. So, we did the Beachbody thing for a while. Um, had amazing results for myself, which inspired a lot of people. But it's really hard to get other people to work out too. Stay on track. So even though I lost 40 pounds, I went from this to this and had muscles and everything, and you can see abs and everything. But it's just real hard to get somebody else to put in that amount of effort for themselves too. So
Yeah.
we had our second daughter, and recently we moved to Delaware 2 years ago with a U.S. family. While we were out there, that's when the whole COVID thing was going on. And my oldest daughter, she loves dogs to death. She decided to start making an Instagram page to have the dogs be influencers. And while doing that, she got hit up by several affiliate marketing companies saying, "Hey, would you show our products with your dogs and we'll give you a commission?" So they started building on that. And then a couple months later, I started getting into that same thing. And then that's when I found Legendary.
Cool. Super cool. Hey, is your phone on some sort of a stand?
Yeah,
Is the bottom of the stand kind of hitting the speaker or the microphone? It just got
I moved it up.
okay. I think it's okay. I was just getting some feedback in the chat that it's a little bit hard to hear.
Okay. Yeah, talk up more.
Maybe it just sounds like there's something muffling it a little bit, but I'm not really clear on what that is. So tell us a little bit about when you started with Legendary and you dive into Legendary, you start the 15-day challenge. I'm curious, like throughout all of that, have you ever started anything online? Like, had you ever started a training or anything to like, help you figure out lead generation or anything like that?
No, everything was brand new to me. I first saw it in January of this year, and I watched about 6 people for 5 months.
Wow.
I just kept
Just looking
watching them.
around.
Yeah, and I kept watching them daily, doing the same videos, and then I decided to email them all and message them all different questions. And they
Yep.
all pretty much answered the same way, a little bit different, but kind of I kind of trusted one more than the other, and then decided to get started. We
Wow.
had to move back to Colorado, and my expenses were going to be like another $1,200 a month to move back there. So I needed to find something else I could do. So I got started, I think the beginning of July.
Okay.
And towards the end of July, you guys were doing, I think it was Joshua that was doing the Facebook, the 5 day Facebook challenge. So that was when I first put my videos on towards the end of July. So I've really only been in it for 3 months. Everything was brand new to me, all the
Yeah.
training. But going through the training, it really opened my eyes on, man, there's so many more things I could do out there. And it, it's going to help me build that business for my daughters, for their dog influencers. Again, expand on that for them so they can actually make a lot more money and do a lot more things. So I have a lot of ideas going on. And I think the training is very, very worth it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, you've really, having started back in July and got it started. I mean, it takes a little bit of time, right? It takes a couple months to get the feel for it. It takes a couple months of just believing that, somebody's gonna watch the videos. You start posting videos and you're like kind of looking around like, is anybody out there? Or the TikTok. And then, I think you started to really take off in September and things have really taken off for you. Um, Walk us through the starting of the content creation because I'm curious how you were able to go from sort of no content creation to now you're a content creator.
Yeah, I had a little bit of content creation from my daughters while they were doing videos of dogs and messing with those. So I just kind of watched them and they showed me how to do the video. So
Super
coming
smart.
over here, it was just putting myself out there and wanting to actually put myself on the video. But
Yep.
after you get the first two or three, it's like, what was I afraid of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Some people are going to like it, some people are going to scroll by it, but you might just inspire one person and it totally changes their life and their look on the future.
Yeah, totally. And I think that with creating content, you talked about kind of tapping into an existing resource that you have, which is your daughter. and creating videos and sort of watching and looking in and looking, and that's just being resourceful. It's taking a look at what resources do I have around me, how do I leverage that, and everybody's got some form of resources. There's some story. I mean, even if people are homeless, even, there's some sort of story behind that. I see people on TikTok who are homeless or have some sort of disability, and their accounts are massive, and they have funds or certain things that they've got, that there's always some form of a story. There's always something, and a lot of people just don't tell it because they're nervous or they're worried what people are going to think or say or whatever. When you first got started with content creation, what did you find to be the most easy, and then also the most difficult?
Most difficult was just videotaping yourself. That was the most difficult, and then wanting to hit that post button.
Super awkward, right?
Yeah, super awkward. I videotaped myself doing workouts before for people, but that was just for 10, 20, 30 people, not for billions of people to see. So that's kind of nerve wracking. I think that 5 day Facebook Reel challenge really helped me out because we had a big group of people. Joshua was giving a lot of tips and tricks on what we should do, and everybody posted videos, and everybody supported each other. And I think that really made it a whole lot easier for me.
Yeah, totally. I think that I have a lot of people that we've interviewed on this show in different places where they they come on and they say exactly what you just said, which is, I got started in some sort of a TikTok challenge or a Facebook Reels challenge or some sort of a challenge. And I think that that's so interesting because there's something about, and I know, I don't know if Beachbody doesn't, but like different MLMs, they'll always be doing challenges. And it's a way to kind of stir up the energy and get people like, oh man, I can't miss out on the challenge, like it's a challenge. I can't say no to a challenge. I interviewed a lady like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, it was really just the word challenge. As soon as I heard the word challenge, I was like, well, if you're gonna challenge me to something, I'm not gonna back down. I'm not gonna not finish it or something, right? And so I think that getting into some form of a challenge or participating in some form of a communal accountability, I think, is like kind of the key word there, is accountability. And when you were doing Beachbody, I'm guessing you probably had days or moments where the big piece of, you said, it was hard to get people to work out. A big piece of that is just accountability. Sometimes people just hate accountability because it hurts and it sucks.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Yeah. I mean, from July. Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody has a different, I guess, point of view of it, and everybody has different results. So some people just don't think, I'm not going to be able to get the same results as you, so I'm not even going to try. But that's the key thing. You don't know if you don't try, and you can totally change your life. And that's why I'm here. I want to actually help people, and I've been through customer service jobs, financial jobs, sales jobs. So I kind of I love helping people and like seeing people succeed, and that kind of gives me more, like, not pleasure, but more excitement that somebody else had from something I could have shared with them.
Oh, that's such a good point. I feel like a lot of times people, I notice like kind of the way that you look at things is sort of through an optimistic lens, which I feel like is really important and valuable. But what I mean by that is, like, a lot of times people would work a lot of different jobs, and I know for me, like, I had a lot of time where I would be working jobs, or I'd switch jobs or something, and I'd feel like I was, the thing that kept coming up was, oh, he can't hold a job or something. And I didn't jump around that much to jobs. And I was in my 20s. So, I mean, for goodness sakes, who cares? But to me, I was like, oh, yeah, I can't hold a job, whatever. Like, I'm kind of a loser. This is going to look bad on my resume. And it is funny how you're just like, no, I've got these different experiences that now have sort of led me to this place where I can now relate to a lot of different people from different backgrounds, from different works of life. Um, and all of that stuff sort of compiles into your ability to connect to people. And I would say that's one of the biggest things about, going online and going on social media is just how is your ability to set aside, your wants, your desires, how important we think we are, and sort of just open ourselves to connecting with somebody and sharing a little bit about how we might be able to help them, or we might have something cool to share with them or something like that. Man, I think that that's really cool and really important, for people to realize that oftentimes what we might see, and I don't even think you implied or said that this was a weakness, but for me, I was like, wow, my weaknesses are oftentimes my strengths, which is just a different lens. It's like putting different glasses on, like different glasses, and seeing the world through a different realm, um, that's filled with a bit more self-esteem and a bit more confidence. As you're creating content, tell us what in those first 3 months, there's not a lot of traffic coming. There's not a lot of leads coming. There's not a lot of sales coming yet. But in those first few months, as you're just building your infrastructure, you're kind of building and setting things up and figuring it out. What was important to you, as you were getting started? What how were you creating content and coming up with ideas in those early days, right when you got started? Because we got a lot of people here who are just getting started.
Yeah, and the guy I got started with, that was Christian Focus. He's been on here a couple of times. We became friends, so he's been
Yeah, I saw him in the comments. Yeah, I think he's watching.
hi there. But he reaches out to me and sees how things are going. He's giving me a lot of tips. He watches my content and tells me what to do, what not to do. You should try this. But I've taken a lot of his advice and have gone out and done those things. And it's actually so far has paid off. I think all the platforms are a little bit different. So I use the CapCut app. I build all my videos on the CapCut app, and then I post them on each individual platform and just add the song from each individual platform. So there's none of that copyright stuff to come back to you.
Yeah, that's super smart and a great way to it's a super smart way to be able to repurpose all your content all over different places too. That's really powerful as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you also sort of so TikTok, maybe Facebook, Instagram, other places that you're posting videos to?
I started on YouTube. I got to figure that out a little bit more, but mainly just those three platforms.
Yeah. Well, those are three good ones to get going on, that's for sure. The yeah, I've seen a lot of new traction from YouTube Shorts recently, and I think that that's an underrated one right now, but sometimes it's random. Sometimes it's just hit and miss. You get an occasional 10,000 views on YouTube, and then over here on TikTok on a totally different video, you got a different video that goes viral, and it's sort of like, building out this, we call it omnipresence, but this sort of I'm present on all these different platforms, and you sneak 5 leads here and 2 leads here and 1 lead here, and it all adds up to be a big lead generation machine, this content machine. That's very different, and I'm sure you can relate with this, but it's very different than lead generation in 2011. It's like we're playing a totally different game now.
Oh yeah, and even back in '99, we had to do everything through the newspaper and put ads in the newspaper. And same thing, talk to your friends, call your friends, and make a list of all of your friends and call them one by one to see who you can get involved. And then
Dude.
hundreds of millions of people, it just takes one video to go viral that changes everything for you. And that's kind of what happened to me.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that that's even in 2010, I was posting, you believe this or not, I was posting Craigslist ads.
Mm.
And they were basically newspaper ads. I mean, it was written and formatted just like a newspaper ad. And, it had a phone number to call. And I mean, geez, it was crazy. It was crazy. But so, and then I learned search engine optimization and I started writing blogs. And rather than me trying to put my stuff out in front of people, I instead became the hunted instead of the hunter. And people would type in how to, whatever, and my blog post would come up. So now they're already looking for what I've got. And now it's just a matter of, that's the idea behind freelance digital marketing is selling things that people are already have a desire for, are already looking for. And you just have to, basically just say, hey, let me just steer you over here, and I'm not the expert. I'm not the course creator. I don't handle the merchant accounts. I don't handle the support. I don't do any of that. But let me just steer you over here and you can take a little piece of that pie, which is kind of a cool business model, honestly. Um, here's what I am curious about. So as you start to get the wheels start turning a little and you start to generate some leads from all these videos you're making, what's been your secret to generating conversions, or say it another way, turning people into buyers as opposed to just kind of looky-loos? Because it seems like you convert a lot of customers, and I'm curious, how you do that, if you have any secrets.
Yeah, certainly. When I first started, anytime someone would reach out, I always put on the videos like, follow, share, and comment as keywords so I can reach back out to you. As soon as someone commented, I would DM them back and I would ask them, what caught your interest. I'd wait for them to respond. I would respond appropriately, and then I would ask what their goals are and what kind of struggles they're going through right now. So I can kind of get an idea of how I'm going to help them and get whatever angle I need to be able to help them in their situation. And that got to a point where that was working for a while. And then I had the one video that went viral. I think it has like 3 million views on it now and 40,000 comments. I got so many, so many DMs every day, 100 plus likes, 100 plus followers, 100 plus DMs. I couldn't keep up with everybody. So I ended up making one big message and sending it to everybody and just telling them, if you have questions, reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer them. But I couldn't help 300 people a day, so I just had to find an angle that I could to help anybody and send them all the information all at once.
Wow. And I wanted to just point out to everybody who's here, I thought we kind of, you said something that I felt was really important and we kind of moved past it, but I wanted to just emphasize that, does everybody notice how Tom just said, when I start talking to somebody, I ask them a question. And that's a really important thing that a lot of people miss, is asking people questions, getting them to say, showing that you're interested in them rather than just saying, hey, look, go to the link, go to this link and buy my shit. The first thing is he asks a question. He says, what caught your interest? And wow, what a powerful question, because it's called an open-ended question, basically a question that could allow people to go lots of different directions rather than asking them a yes or no question, which is, that's just a basic conversational skill. But that a yes or no question sort of forces you into this interrogation, and an open-ended question will allow you to sort of explore. It's way less interrogation and more just like what caught, people could go a million different directions with that. And then even diving into things like, what's your goals? Why are you interested? And those kind of things open up the ability for you to not only connect with somebody. Connection, you don't have to have any special social skills. You just have to be able to ask some questions and show interest. And, um, you know, I think that there's this, I can't remember what this book is called, but I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And, it's basically just all about that. I mean, it's all just about showing real interest in people. And that's the hard wiring. That's the DNA of people. It's also, though, not just a manipulative sales tactic, right? That comes across like I'm saying, it's just this way to get somebody to buy something. It sounds like you're being manipulative. Now, the truth is that, people are looking actively to buy stuff online on social media, but they're also mostly looking for connection. Like at the deepest kind of core human need is there's some form of connection, right? And so if you have the ability to connect with people and the ability to explore, for instance, somebody's goals with them, even if they don't buy something from you. Like if I'm in the weight loss niche and I'm exploring somebody's weight loss goals with them, and I ask them a question and I say, you know why do you think it's been so hard to lose that weight? What would you point to, or what are some signals of why it's been so hard? Even if somebody never buys from me, but I ask that question, a lot of times they're going to think about that question for weeks and months and maybe even years. And they're going to not be haunted by it, but just kind of wonder like, wow, I hadn't really thought of that before. That was a meaningful question. And, that kind of connection can really change people, and it gives you the opportunity to help people grow, help people change regardless of financial outcome. And if you do it right and you do it well and you build goodwill, you might actually be able to help them make a powerful buying decision. And a lot of times when people buy something, it's when they commit to something. And when they commit to something, usually they'll see some form of change or at least a step in the right direction. And it just so happens that in our world and how we're built as humans, that comes in the form of money. And they usually pay for something. And that's a meaningful transaction where I go to therapy and I pay a lot of money for my therapy sessions. And damn it, I show up on time to those things because they cost me money. And I show up and I'm ready and I'm prepared and I'm focused. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to do anything else that whole hour, that the 30 minutes before and the 30 minutes after, because this cost me a lot of freaking money. And so if I'm going to grow and I'm going to change, that's how it's going to happen. And so I think that I was just really, I don't know, I was impacted by how you said, I start that out by asking questions, getting to know people, getting to know what they're feeling, what their goals are, what's important to them. And it's really I mean, you probably learned that back in the MLM days, because that's real basic kind of just networking stuff. But it's really, I think people in the internet world often forget that.
Yeah, and I feel a lot of people still think a lot of these things are scams. So if you're actually asking them, hey, what caught your interest from my video? What are your goals are? What struggles are you going through right now? Then you can relate to them. You might have the same kind of experience from the past. It just makes it a whole lot easier to build that relationship with them, and everybody knows you help them get what they want, you'll get what you want. That's said for decades.
Yeah. It's like the most basic marketing. Right. Yeah. Who said that? You know, I think it was maybe Jim Rohn or something. If you want to get rich or something, just help people get more of what they want. Um, and that's the simplest way to become wealthier. Something to that effect. But um, man, cool. Wow, what a powerful nugget of marketing gold that is. What Tell us a little bit about your day to day. So break down like a typical day of maybe content creation, or I don't know if you said this earlier. Are you still working in 9 to 5 and doing this on the side, or how do you structure your time and content creation and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, I still work my 9 to 5. I usually get up and I work out first thing in the morning. This is my gym right behind me. Work out at home, and then I do my 9 to 5. But I usually do all my content creation in the evening. So sometimes I'll put two videos in the evening, a couple hours apart. or sometimes I'll wake up first thing in the morning before my workout and throw a video on first thing in the morning. There's a lot of people that are getting up and they sit in bed for 30, 45 minutes and just sit there on social media all morning, or they're already ready and they're sitting down having breakfast and coffee and they're searching on social media. So you got to be able to kind of get that to all those kind of people during those times.
As you're creating content, I'm curious, like, um, what's been the secret with you specifically? You're on multiple different channels, but what's been the secret with Instagram? Because, with 99,000 followers on Instagram, dude, that's a lot. Like, was there anything in particular you did that was different than maybe what other people are doing? Or was there a moment that you were able to grow that super fast, or did you use paid advertising, or what? Did you have any, like, weird secret to Instagram that was big for you?
Nothing real secret. I pretty much create the same video and put it on all platforms. And like I've heard from a lot of other people, you're going to get hot on one or two platforms. You might be dead on the rest. I would say I get less than 50 views on Facebook, less than 300 on TikTok, and Instagram. Most of my videos have an average of 10,000 views. So it's just kind of the luck of the draw. And one thing I did notice is on Instagram, you can actually share. So usually at the end of the video, I put like, follow, and share. So people will share that video to whoever else. TikTok has a save, so you can save it for later. So you'll want to put like, follow, and save for later to kind of get people to put that in there so they rewatch it at a later time. But I think that share really helps out. Several of my videos have over 1,000 shares on them. So that's just extra free marketing for you that some random person just shared it with somebody else. And that's just one extra person that could join your business and that you could, change their life with this business model that we do.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Man, I feel like, yeah, and what a helpful little nugget or tip to everybody who's starting. That is really true. I do see that a lot where some people are, they're super viral on TikTok and their Instagram's like every video's got like 50. And it just seems like yours is kind of the opposite, where your Instagram is just massive and blowing up. That's really odd. It is crazy how that happens, but it stresses the importance. A lot of times people in our community are only on TikTok. It stresses the importance to make sure you're on all of these different platforms because, man, you just never know which of these might go super viral and you might have just a massive, um, yeah, you might have a really incredible growth spurt on one of these platforms, and it could lead you to thousands and thousands of dollars of income just from one single platform. Man, super powerful. And it's just as simple as that. Creating that one video, editing it all. You do it in CapCut. You could do it in any of these. You could just do it in TikTok if you wanted, and then download it and take it onto these platforms, change the music up, and you're off and running. Do you do a few videos each day?
Yeah, I try and do two or three.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up, I just have no idea what I'm going to do, but just you throw something together because you never know who it's going to impact. Um, I'd say one of my videos, I didn't know what to do. I just sat down, recorded myself, just typed up something real quick, put it on there, and it has 300,000 views and several hundred shares again on Instagram. But once you get that one video that goes viral, everybody is watching that video plus the next two or three that you post and the next two or three that you post, and it just keeps going in a circle. I think that went on for about almost a month and a half.
Wow.
Every day where I'd have hundreds and hundreds of DMs for about a month and a half trying to keep up with all those. So you're not going to be able to reach everybody, but you try to reach as many as you can. And one thing I did notice on Instagram is they only let you comment so many times, and they
Yeah.
only let you DM so many times. So after you've already done that, they block you for about 24 hours. I've been blocked several times, reaching out
Yeah.
to so many people. So if you ever get into that point, it's good to maybe send 10 to 20 DMs for an hour and then wait a couple hours and then go back in and do another 10 to 20 so that
Yeah.
you don't get blocked, because being blocked for like 24 hours is not fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when a lot of your business depends on being able to create content.
Yeah. And sit there and relate with people and you can't talk to them, you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. Seen it a million times. The so do you ever go live on any of these platforms? Do you have any other are you mostly just creating content?
mostly just creating content. So from
Oh,
seeing all the other interviews and live interviews, that's something here to do in the near future.
yeah.
And, I need to get on some of the other live people and see what they're actually doing
Yeah. Bingo.
to follow exactly what they're doing. I'd probably have a lot of huge anxiety just going on there right out the gate, trying to figure out what in the world I'm going to say. I'm
Right.
going to watch some of the other live people first and see how they're actually reacting with their people.
Yeah, man. Wow. Another big gold bar of wisdom there. Rather than feeling overwhelmed and sitting in inaction, what do you say? Well, I mean, lots of people are doing it. I'll probably just go and see what they do, take some notes, and then do it myself. Like
Yeah,
there's so many examples and so many different just different avenues you could take it. I mean, I think about somebody like Calvin Hill, who for the last 2 years has just gone live and basically gave the same presentation every single week about crypto and about stocks and about building an online business to fund that and all this different stuff. And then there's different people like Amy or just a lot of people out there who are doing that kind of thing and going live and but yeah, I mean, do, I always just tell people just do what works. Like do what works. Try out little things like, I'm going to try out going live and I'll give it a 30-day shot. I'll go live maybe once or twice a week, see if I like it. Also, see if it generates more sales. I think the big thing that it does, maybe sometimes even more than generating sales, is it increases overall conversions, like as in total. um we call it's a figure we call lifetime value. So what we saw by going live 5 days a week with this show is it actually serves our community more than it does a cold audience. We don't actually get a lot of lead generation from this show. But what it does is it gives people additional touches, more live touches, because no one in our industry is doing this. No one. They might go live inside of a Facebook group to like 4 people or something, as a form of coaching and mentoring that you had to pay to get into it, but not in terms of just a free live show to share, content creation strategies or how people are growing or what are they doing on Facebook or Instagram, right? Mostly we're just trying to expose people to, hey, here's some people who are being successful. Go kind of investigate, see what they're doing, see what their strategies are. It's another um, person you can go look at. But yeah, I think that I don't know where I was going with that. I just lost it. But anyway, I think that a lot of times, going live might not bring a ton more leads, although I've seen that happen for sure. I've seen people generate a ton more leads and sales from that. I think the big benefit is that those leads and the traffic that you generate oftentimes will spend more money with you because they're now seeing you live. They've got additional help and support. They've got, they're they're able to see you real in the flesh, as a real human being, and they're like, whoa, this is like, now it turns from content into community, which is now a totally different realm that they've entered. And it's a really powerful one, probably the most powerful when it comes to, yeah, that metric of lifetime value. So what comes up as I say that? Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with all that, and I would tell a lot of people that a lot of people didn't want to do videos and put themselves out there, but that's the first step. People want to see that you're a live person and you're not a robot. I get a lot of people that want to actually video call me on Instagram because they want to see that I'm the same person that they're seeing on the videos. So I've actually made several friends. I got a couple of handfuls of people that I'm helping on a day to day. They reach out to me all the time now because we've had that video chat for 5 or 10 minutes, and they can just see that I'm real, just like them. Just a normal, average, everyday person, and anybody can do it.
Yeah. Isn't that just, oh man, that's, I think in anything, like in dog training or in weight loss or in virtually any niche, any industry, there's something uber powerful about discovering that the expert or the guru is just a normal freaking person. And it's like, are you serious? This person's just like me. Like they struggle just like me. They're just, like whatever. They've put on 15 pounds just like me, and they're struggling to get it off just like me. That the words just like me are just really powerful, and they're, yeah, man, super, super powerful. So Tom, I've got your TikTok and Instagram handle up here. Make Money with Funk. For everybody who's here, go follow him and I don't want to say harass him, but tell him you want to see him go live. And I
Thanks.
Tom, I don't know if you know this, but I've become a little bit of a bully, and I've now been bullying people into going live who haven't gone live before, to test it out and try it out. Some people it's stuck, some people it hasn't, but I've been seeing these people on TikTok as I've scrolled. I was like, oh, you were on the Wake Up Show, and now here you are live hanging out. So it's a funny, but no, don't go bully him, everybody. But go follow him and make sure you let him know that you saw him on Wake Up Legendary. Tom, for everybody who's here, there's a lot of people here in the comments who are brand new. Like they just have, it's day 1 or day 2 of the challenge. The idea of freelance digital marketing is new still, and it's an exciting time, but it can also be an overwhelming time. What would you say to these people who are just kind of getting going and they're maybe nervous or worried about starting TikTok or Instagram or something like that, and there's a little bit of nerves about hitting post on that first video? What would you say to those people?
Yeah, the big thing is just do it. When you get into day, I think it was 5, 6, or 7, that really blows things up and lets you know that, man, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. It just gives you so many ideas of different directions you can go with this whole business model and training. Like I said at the beginning, it really opened my eyes to all the different directions I can go and help not only myself, but my kids build something. For my 9 to 5, my kids are not going to be able to ever take over my 9 to 5 ever. And even if they did, they would start down at the bottom. So this is something that they can actually take over one day and build off of what I had, which is it's amazing, basically, for this business model. I would tell you that when I got started in July, I was in a transition from moving from Delaware back to Colorado. So I'm trying to pack a house. I'm trying to sell a house. I'm trying to buy a new house. I'm trying to move my family across the country just after finishing the training. And then, like, man, how am I going to create content through all this? But I did it. I just kept doing it even while we're driving. I would take videos of myself with driving in the car, driving down the road in different areas. And I would use those and make those every time we stopped for a restroom break or something. I would take 15, 20 minutes and put a video together and just throw it on there. You need to get down 2 or 3 videos a day, to stay consistent, do it every single day, no matter if you think it's great, if you think it sucks, if you think no one's going to look at it. Just stay consistent, and then that first month, one by one, two by two, you'll get followers. You'll get people that actually reach out to you, and then you'll hit that one person that says, "Hey, you're just like me. What the heck are you doing? I need to do this." And then it'll just keep on going from there. The more you just stay consistent, it's going to happen one day. So just go by. If you build it, they will come.
I love that. And I live by that too. Tom, thanks for coming on the show. If you're open to it in a month or two, if you want to reach back out, we'd love to have you back on and just see what's new in your world and see, what are some new strategies that you've been learning, what's fresh in your mind, and we'd love to just catch up and see you on the show again.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. And who knows, we might be live by that time.
All right. I love it. I love it. Now we're talking. Okay. Tom, thanks again. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. And we'll see you on next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
See ya. Hey, his handle is on TikTok and Instagram. It's Make Money with Funk, Funk. So Make Money with Funk. Go find Tom. Go give him a follow. Say, hey, I saw you on Wake Up Legendary. Love what you're doing. Let him know what was one or two things that were really impactful. Maybe share a couple of his videos. Just give him some love. And I call this building yourself some good business karma. If you only go around to social media videos and you're reporting videos nonstop and blocking people and restricting and doing all of that, chances are you might see that come back around too, whether you believe in karma or not. I happen to believe a little bit in business karma, just because I've seen it and experienced it. So go share, like, comment, and if you want to be a bully, you can bully Tom into it. He's a grown adult with kids. He can handle it, but you can bully him into going live, and we'll see what takes off and what does. I haven't seen a lot of people go live on Instagram, so we'll see what that's like, and maybe he'll report back to us in a month or two on how it's going. So, hey, we'll be back here again the rest of the week. I'm hosting on behalf of Dave. It's his birthday week. So if you can go post to Dave's social media or post in the group, in the Legendary Marketer group, and let Dave know happy birthday. I think his birthday's tomorrow. So him and Aaron are doing fun things for his birthday week. And he'll be back hosting on Monday, I believe. So rest of the week, you got me, and we'll welcome Dave back into the fold on Monday. Peace out, everybody. See you. Happy Wednesday.